Hello everyone, this is Jennifer. In this video we're going to look into the budgetary problems. So our first question, a company is expecting to have 16,000 cash in hand on 1/4/2021 and it requests you to prepare cash budget for the 3 months April to June 2021. Okay, the following information is applied to you. They have given February, March, April, May and June. Okay, they have told you all to prepare the cash budget from April to June, so you'll have 3 months of cash budget, April, May and June, and they have given the rest information about sales, purchases, wages and expenses. What other information they have given is period of credit allowed by suppliers in 2 months is 2 months. Suppliers is nothing but your purchases, so the period allowed by the suppliers is 2 months. So for example, if you have purchased something in February, you will be paying after 2 months, that is March and April, in the month of April. So this February's 22,000 will be paid in April. So if you see suppliers 22,000, it is paid in the month of April. So for all the purchases will be paid after 2 months, and 25% of sale is for cash, and the period of credit allowed to customer for credit sales is 1 month. So in this, for every sales that you take, for example February month sales is 35,000, so 35,000, I have told 35,000. In this 35,000, 25% is of cash. So first let us calculate 35,000 into 25%. How much do you get? You get 8,750. So this is nothing but your cash sales. So 35,000. So your 35,000 minus your cash sales, you'll get 26,250, which is nothing but your credit sales. This credit sales is paid after 1 month. So if it happens in February, it is paid in March, and if it happens in March, it is paid in April. So let us calculate March and see. So what to know what is the amount of April. So March, it is 40,000. So your 25% of 40,000 is 10,000. So 40,000 minus 10,000, you get 30,000. This 30,000 is paid in April. So if you see, cash sales is 12,000. So in the month of April, if you see collection from debtors, how much it is? 30,000. So as I told you, 30,000. But how did you get this cash sales as 12,000? Everybody might have. Cash sales will be calculated for the same month itself. So what is your cash sales for April? 48,000. So 48,000 into 25%, you get 12,000. That is calculated and received in the same same month itself, which is in April, 12,000. So cash sales will be calculated for the same month amount, whereas debtors, the collection from debtors will be calculated from the previous month. However, I showed delay in payment of wages and expenses is 1 month. So last month, if you have wages, this month you will be paying it. Last month's expenses, this month you will be paying it. Okay, income tax 14,000 is to be paid in June 2021. So they have told income tax, which is another expense, only in the month of June you can show it as 14,000. They start with cash budget for April to June. You start with opening balance 16,000 they have given. Then you start with receipts. Cash sales is the same month sales, so 12,000, 12,500 and 15,000, which is the 25% of each month's amount. Collection from debtors is your previous month's credits, 2 months prior previous month's credit sales. So 30,000, 36,000, 37,500. If you total it, you get 58,000, 77,000, 93,500. Less your payments. Suppliers. So suppliers is your 2 months prior, 2 months before, whatever that was there, that you're paying it in this month. So what happened in February, you're paying it in April. March, you're paying it in May. April's, you're paying it in June. So 22,000, 28,000, 30,000. Wages is 1 month. So March you'll be paying in April. So the following month you'll be paying. So 4,500, 4,500, 5,500. Expenses also you'll be paying it in the same way. 1 month. So 3,000, 3,500, 4,500. Income tax only in the month of June you have, which is 14,000. So total up your expenses, you get it. So total of your balance will be opening balance plus your receipts, you get 58,000. 58,000 minus 29,500, you get 28,000. So 28,500 become the opening balance of the next month. So that May month's closing balance is 41,000. So that will become the opening balance in the month of June, and the June month's closing balance is 39,000. So your next question, a newly formed company desires to prepare a cash budget for 4 months from March to June 2021. The following information is available. They have given sales, purchases, wages and overheads. So they have told cash balance. How many months have they told us to prepare budget? March to June, which is for 4 months. So opening balance they have given is 10,000. New machinery is to be installed at a cost of 20,000 in the month of February, which is to be paid in 2 equal installments in March and April. So if you see, purchase of machinery will be paid in March and April equally. 20,000 is your amount, so 10,000 and 10,000. Next they have told rupees 12,000 is to be collected in March as second call money. So call money in the month of March will be collected 12,000. So it's a receipt. Period of credit allowed by creditors is 2 months and allowed to customers is 1 month. So the suppliers have given us a credit period of 2 months, whereas we are giving a credit period to the debtors as 1 month. 50% of sales and purchases are or cash. So for every amount you will calculate the 50% of cash, you will put it as cash sales and cash purchases respectively of the same months, and the remaining amount you will calculate it and you will put it in the payment month. So for example, your creditors, you will be paying it after 2 months, means you will put the 50% which has happened. For example, I will show it with an amount. So the period of creditors allowed is 2 months. So creditors nothing but your purchases. So in the month of Jan you have 20,000. In that 20,000, 50% is your cash purchases, which is 10,000. Okay, and the remaining 50,000 purchases is 20,000. So 10,000 is your cash purchases and 10,000 is your credit purchases. This 10,000 cash purchases will be accounted in the month of January itself. The 10,000 of credit purchase will be paid after 2 months, which is in the month of March. So 10,000, if you see, 50% of credit purchase 10,000. So like that only the credit purchases amount will be paid after 2 months, whereas credit sales will be paid after 1 month. And they have told delay in payment of wages, half month overheads are paid in the same month. So this one they have showed it in the working note itself. How to calculate for the month of March. Okay, wages you have 4,600, 4,600, 4,000 and 5,000. So you will calculate it like this. For the month of March, half month of February and half month of March. Why it is? Because delay in payment of wages, half month overheads are paid in the same month. For example, I have wages as 1,000. That 1,000 will be equally divided, which is 500 and 500. This month I will be paying 500. The next month I will be paying 500. Okay, and when I'm calculating for the next like that, so for the month of March I will be paying half months of February and half months of March, and for the month of April half month of the previous year month and half amount of the current month. So it's basically half amount of the previous month and half amount of the current month. So you get to calculate equally and installments and you'll get the amounts. So you start with opening balance, then you take your receipts, cash sales, credit sales of 50% of the previous month, then your call money they have given only to be paid in the month of March. Next you move on to your payments. You have your cash purchases 50% of the same month, credit purchases of the previous month, and purchase of new machinery which is paid in 2 equal installment, payment of wages of half month which is calculated in your working note, and overhead of the same month. So whatever overhead happens in that month, you are paying it in the same month. So your total your payments, you get your closing balance, opening balance plus total receipts minus your payments, you get your closing balance. The current month closing balance will become the opening balance of the next month. Next we are moving on to the flexible budget. So a budget prepared for a range of activities rather than a single level of activity is called a flexible budget. So flexible budget is a budget which is prepared for a range of activities rather than just single level of activity. We're just not talking about cash budget which is concentrated on cash. It is takes into it takes into account different kinds of activities, so different capacity of productions, etc., different level of activity level, 60% activity level, 10% activity level, 100% activity level, and 50% capacity level. So let us look into our first question. Mahindra Company Limited, and also in order to have a good control through the operation of budgetary control, a flexible budget is often established. So this is the best way of controlling the operation, wherein you'll get to know what is your production cost, how much you need to produce, what will the cost be if you increase your production, what will the cost be if you decrease your production, what will you get your profit. So everything will be analyzed in the flexible budget. So a question: Mahindra Company Limited, working at 50% capacity, manufactures 10,000 units of a product cost at rupees 180. Sale price is 200. The breakup of the cost is as follows. So they have given materials, wages, factory overheads, administration overheads. So at 60% working, raw material cost goes up by 2% and sales price falls by 2%. At 80% working, the material costs increase by 5% and the sale price decreased by the same percentage. Prepare a statement to show profitability at 60% and 80% capacity. So first of all, we'll start flexible budget in this way, wherein 50%, which the information they have given, You will have it in your first column. 60% and 80% we will calculate it. So it's just like a cost sheet. Okay, we will do it just like a cost sheet. You start with your direct materials. So if they have given the direct materials, how much have they given? 100 rupees per unit. And how many units have they told? For 50% capacity, it is 10,000 units they are manufacturing. So 50% is 10,000 units. Means for 60%, how much it will be there? Cross multiply. 10,000 into 60 divided by 50. So you get 12,000 units. In the same way, cross multiply. For 50%, it is 10,000 units. Means for 80%, how much it will be there? So your unknown figure will become the numerator. So 10,000 into 80 divided by 50. You will get 16,000 unit. So you will have two columns, which is your total amount and per unit. When they give per unit in the question, you will always have a per unit column. So you start with materials. How much have they told materials? Two materials they have told 100 rupees per unit. So 100 into 10,000, 10 lakhs. So per unit is 100 rupees. So in the same way, for 60% we are supposed to calculate. We do not know the per unit value, we do not know the total. Okay, the information that is given to us is 100 rupees per unit for 50% capacity. Cross multiply. Okay, if it is a variable cost, one concept that everybody should remember in flexible budget is, if it's a variable cost, your total amount will remain same. If it is a fixed cost, if it is a variable cost, your per unit amount will remain same irrespective of how many units you produce. But if it's a fixed cost, okay, your total amount will be same. But in this question, your variable cost should remain same. It should be 100 per unit irrespective of how many units you produce. But in the question, they have told at 60% working, raw material cost goes by 2% and sales price cost falls by 2%. At 80% working, the material cost increased by 5% and the sale price decreased by the same percentage. So it has increased by how much? 2% at 60%, and for 80% capacity, it has increased by 5%. So 100 into 2 by 100, you get 2 rupees. So 100 plus 2, 102. 100 into 5 by 100, which you get 5 rupees. So 100 plus 5, 105 is your per unit. So 102 into 12,000, you get 20,24,000. 105 into 16,000, you get 16,80,000 unit amount. Wages they have told in the question, per unit is 30 rupees. So 30 rupees will remain same because it's a variable cost, and you will calculate in 2 units. So 30 into 10,000, 3 lakh. 30 into 12,000, 3 lakh 60,000. 30 into 16,000, 4 lakh 80,000. Then you get your prime cost. Total up your direct materials and direct wages, you get your prime cost. Then you will add your factory overheads. So in factory overheads, what they have told is 60% is variable and 40% is fixed. So 40% is fixed, so the remaining 60% will be variable, and they have told 30 rupees is your per unit value. So in that 30 rupees, 40% is fixed, they have told. So 12 rupees. 60% is variable, so 18 rupees. This 18 rupees will remain same for irrespective of units. So 12 into 10,000 you get 1,20,000. So this 1,20,000 will remain same because it is fixed. Now you will calculate whichever is missing figures. Next you will get your works cost. When you total up your prime cost plus your factory overheads, you will get your works cost. Then you will add your office and administrative overheads. In the question they have told office and administrative overheads 50% is fixed. So out of the 20 rupees, 50% is fixed and 50% is variable. So 10 rupees is variable and 10 rupees is fixed. So if it's variable, per unit will remain same. So 10 rupees into 10,000 units you get 1 lakh. So this 1 lakh is fixed, will remain same. So 10 rupees into 10,000, 1 lakh. 10 rupees into 12,000, 1 lakh 20,000. 10 rupees into 1 lakh 16,000, it is 1 lakh 60,000. So the fixed amount is 1 lakh. So you will get 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. How will you calculate the per unit value if it is a fixed? Okay, so 1 lakh divided by 12,000 units, you get 8.3. 1 lakh divided by 16,000, you get 6.25. Next you add your selling and distribution overheads. You do not have selling and distribution overheads, so you get your cost of sales. You total up everything, you get your cost of sales. Now profit. In the question, have they given anything regarding this? Look into it. Sale price falls by 2. Only sale price they have told, and so profit they have told selling price is 200 rupees. So 200 rupees is selling price for 10,000 units, and they have told sale price has increased by 2% and it has decreased by 5%. So 2% it has increased in 12,000 units and 5% has decreased in 16,000 units. So you will calculate 200 into 2% increase and 200 into 5% decrease. So when you have your selling price, can we calculate the profit? So the missing figure will be a profit. So if you minus cost of sales from selling price, you will get your profit. Next is your profitability. You will get how much of profit percentage that we have. For the first, which is 10,000 unit, you have 10%. For 12,000 unit, you have 8.081%, and for 16,000 unit, you have 6.986%. This you will get with the help of seeing the profit percentage. So Zenith Limited has prepared the budget for the production of 1 lakh units from the costing period as under. So they have given raw materials, direct labor, direct expenses, works overhead 60% is fixed. So the 40% will be variable. Administration overheads 80% is fixed. So 20% will be variable. Selling and distribution overhead 50% is fixed, so 50% will be variable. So actual production in the period was only a 60,000. Prepare budget for the original and revised level of production. So you're supposed to prepare budget for 2 periods. One is for 1 lakh units, the other one is for 60,000 units. So everything they have given per unit value. So it's very easy. So you'll put a per unit value, you'll calculate your total. So your raw materials is 10.08 they have given. So 10.08 into 1 lakh, 10 lakh 80,000. So 10.08 into 60,000, which is 6 lakhs 4,800. Direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, everything is variable. So your variable cost will remain same, and your your per unit value will remain same, and your total will be calculated based on the number of units you have. So you will have your prime cost total, then works overhead will come. In that they have told 40% is variable, 60% is fixed. So 10 rupees is your cost, so in that 4 rupees is variable and 6 rupees is fixed. So for variable cost, your per unit will remain same, 4 rupees and 4 rupees. So 4 rupees into 1 lakh, 4 lakhs. 4 rupees into 60,000, it is 2 lakh 40,000. And fixed, which is 6 rupees into 1 lakh, which is 6 lakhs. The 6 lakhs, the total amount will remain same for the fixed cost. So 6 lakhs, 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs divided by 60,000, you get 10 rupees, which is your fixed cost. Total up your works cost and prime cost, you will get your works cost. Then you have your administration overhead. So under that, variable is 20%, fixed is 80%. So variable per unit will remain same, only the total you are supposed to calculate depending on the number of units. In fixed, the total will remain same, you will calculate the variable dividing with the number of units with the amount. Next you get your cost of production when you total it up. Then you have your sales overhead, again they have told fixed and variable. You will calculate your fixed and variable cost. So variable is 0.40, you will get for respect of the number of units, the variable cost per unit will remain same, and fixed cost they have given 0.40 into 1 lakh, you get 40,000. So this 40,000 will remain same, 40,000 divided by 60,000, you get 0.67. So you get your total cost. Thank you everyone.